Hi Taurus, welcome to your January reading. I have a lot of notes here and I suggest you take some as well. Let's start off first. January 7th, Mars enters your sign after a 6-month stay in Aries, where it has pushed every button in your subconscious that could have been pushed. So you've been really in some ways pushed to the limit, and now you get the energy, the fire to do something about it. Should you? The devil and strength, ego is what I see, but also success, economic success, and you are the bright shining light in the room. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. There is so much economic potential for you in the next 3-4 weeks. The way you can set yourself up, it comes down to understanding a few key dates or key set of days where you should behave in a certain way, and then that 10 of Wands becomes a reality. So, like I said, on January 7th, Mars enters your sign. And what happens there, what I have written in my notes, corresponds beautifully with this here. And what I have written down is breakaway success. So you just take off as of the 7th, God willing. And then you're also a magnet. Everybody can see you. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody is attracted. And then there is that beautiful Mars-Venus dance that's going to happen. It will bring you so much earthly pleasure. Everything is very sensual right now. And that's just your bag. In a lot of ways, you are forced through a really sensual, romantic month to evolve your image, to get even closer to this overtly abundant aesthetic. You know, you're just heading more and more in this kind of glamorous direction. And funnily enough, for many of you, that's something that was very normal when you were a kid, especially if you have Gemini placements. So you may feel like you're getting to play dress up again, but you know, it's your life now. There's money to be made in that sentiment, and you can find it, especially in January. But also, this belief in self, this evolution of image that's happening, it makes you so attractive and very easily calls love into your life. Just be careful, because it's going to attract a lot of things, not just what you want, but also what wants you. And the point is that everybody wants you, so you got to be careful. That Capricorn energy at the beginning, it also corresponds with the speed that you pick up now. When you're sitting still, people love it because they know you're going to be there. But when you start to run everyone else gets uncomfortable because that's not the role they have set for you. When you start to run, everybody has to pay attention because it's like knives flying. There's going to be a few days between the 13th and the 22nd where you are going to have some squaring in your sign, where Jupiter will square Uranus. And yeah, between the 13th and the 22nd, and everything will be a bid for power. You won't know it, but everyone will be playing you, like milking you for power by getting you involved in their drama and then taking all your energy. So during that square, during those days, just be very keenly aware of what people's intentions are, because they may not even understand themselves how much they're feeding off of you. And what they do is they take that fixed, abundant energy that you have and they drain you of it. And they take it and they go. And that's very possible during that square. So keeping that in mind as well. Bottom of the deck here is Justice. This brings me to my next point. There is a lot of righteousness in you. A lot of battles that have been fought for the good. I'm so sorry. But regardless of the battles, regardless of why they were fought or how they ended up, one thing is for certain, there's no opinion on this, your wins and losses and everything that's happened, it lives in the body. And this karmic thing that you have where you want to kind of ensure that people get their karma, it also lives in the body. So your body in January is going to try to tell you in so many different ways, like we need to be purged, we need to be detoxed, we need to be cleansed, we need to be sweated out, whatever it is. Pay attention to the fact that your body is so overworked, full up, and now charged up. Bottom of the deck under the Libra card is that Mars energy and the star. The cool thing about Mars moving into your sign is it's going to give you all the power and all the magic that you need to really get your stuff going. And because there is such an important square that affects very directly your sign, it's important that you not push and that you have faith in this and that you allow these energies to come together and bring you what you want. It's much more important than you feeling like you've accomplished something. What you need to accomplish is a certain amount of faith in yourself and in your dreams. As cheesy as that sounds. But it's a very exciting time. And you have the opportunity now to really bring a lot of positive light to yourself by choosing the right things, exposing yourself in the right light. It's all very positive. Yeah. Just don't push. I'll show you, you'll see it looks like a party. Love you. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to the second part of your reading. I am so sorry that I was so, I guess you could say drained, but just the heaviness of this energy, I think it really got to me while I was doing your reading, because I looked over the footage and I can see it in myself that I'm trying to express something that's a bit too heavy for me to really explain. So I've given myself a day, and now we're back at it and we're looking at these cards. And what I see right away is just how busy it is. And that is the feeling that I was overcome with, was just the sheer volume of emotion and also productivity that happens for you in the next 25 days or so. It's a really lucky time, but the closest I can come to explaining it is likening it to a very fast car that's very well made and is very difficult to drive if you've only ever just driven a standard vehicle, because everything is so finely tuned and everything is so sensitive that changing gears, accelerating, braking has to be done with quite a lot of finesse, or the car will spin out or stall. That's not necessarily the first thing you think when you think of how cool it would be to be in a Ferrari or drive a Ferrari. It doesn't immediately spring to mind that it would be quite difficult to control such a wonderful piece of machinery. In the same way, this Mars energy, that slingshot has been pulled back in Aries for 6 months. And the first hit of Mars being let loose is you. Now, if you catch it right and ride that energy, it'll take you really, really far. But you got to catch it right. And that means that you've got to be ready for. So Mars launches out of Aries, you grab it, and then it's going to go through some dips and some squares. And you already have a planet in your sign that's going to square Jupiter in Aquarius. So if you can navigate these kind of pop up like video game obstacles, then you have a great chance of doing extremely well. What is going to help you navigate? Really putting the pride aside and the stubbornness, because it is the pride and the stubbornness that leads to the temper. So not allowing your business conversations to be about pride, not allowing your financial decisions to be based on some sort of emotional issue that's made you obstinate against someone or towards an idea. Don't bring your emotions into it. In the daily horoscope for today, the last slide that I chose was a Warren Buffett quote. That and what he says is, if you can't control your emotions, you'll never be able to control your money. That is exactly the sentiment that I would like to leave you with, because it's really that simple. Everything else lines up perfectly. Even the squares that Jupiter makes with Uranus and Mars are both very much to your benefit if you know how to maneuver. And the number one key, without going too in depth into those, which we'll do in the extended, the key is to control your emotions. The most difficult thing to do right now, though, will be to do just that, to control your emotions. It will be very difficult. Mars doesn't really let you see straight until you take action. And so when we have Mars in our sign, we have a tendency to take action to relieve the pressure that it puts on you to do something. But if you can control your emotions and your sentimentality, then you have a very, very good chance of making a lot of progress, setting yourself up for a great year. And like I said, getting some of this karmic trauma out of your body, out of your system, out of your mind,
and allowing what could be an energy that could burn a house down to be a quite comfortable fire that warms the house and cooks the food. It is possible. Learning how to live with Saturn and Jupiter now in Aquarius for a while it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of teachable moments, and the first ones start in January. So take notes. Take note of how you behave, especially from the 13th to the 22nd. What impulses do you have? Because you're going to have to confront this, right? You're going to have to deal with these things. So learn early. Learn on your feet how to mitigate this energy and what it pushes you to do instead of taking it personal, which I didn't really want to say quite that outright, because when people tell you not to take things personal, you take that actually very personal. It brings up a really interesting kind of emotion in you, because everything is personal, right? So that's why I gave you that Warren Buffett quote. Okay, everything is emotional, everything is personal. I got it. I actually agree. But you got to control that. It's important. It's your future. And if there is anything in you right now that is wanting to think more about love than money, the love, you're a magnet for people right now. They want to be around you. It's going to be up to you to choose someone who's appropriate and good enough for you. You don't need to be out here lovesick or lovelorn or looking for love. Love is looking for you. You'll have your pick, inshallah. Focus on what matters right now, which is setting up your future in a way that makes your life easier and easier. Remember, you're really coming into this kind of glamorous archetype, this empress figure who has so much. So focus there. Because if you focus on becoming more abundant in your spirit, in your surroundings, and what you wear and how you dress and where you go and what you say, that abundance will attract other abundance, including the love that you want. So taking a circuitous route, but it gets you there so much faster. The direct approach, give me love, it just doesn't work. We know this. So focus on what does work. Focus on what you need to work on, and let the rest of it flow naturally to you. Good. All right. We're going to talk about that square, get more into it, and that Leo, that Capricorn, that Aries, that Libra, and that Gemini and the Aquarius. There's so many people in this reading. It took me did you see me in the first part? I was so pulled into it. There was so much intrigue. I couldn't keep my eyes off the cards. There's so much drama here if you let it happen. So we'll explore that in the extended. I'm sure it's going to be quite lively. You can access the extended on Vimeo or instantly through a PayPal link. Both of those options are below. If you're interested in a personal reading that's about 7 to 10 minutes long and recorded and sent to you, click the Cameo link below. There's also a video chat option, a live one-on-one reading. Those are done on Tuesdays. There's 4 slots a week. I will try to add more. I think they're sold out at the moment. There's also a link for the Revolution Rings and a Lunar New Year guided meditation that will be done over Zoom on February 12th, inshallah. So catch all those links below, or you can just go to ambercon.com and find all the links through there. And the podcast link is on there as well. I love you, love you. Taurus, let's get into this juicy extended right now. I'll see you there.